Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Have you heard of a Rolex Submariner? Just so you know, they're almost impossible to get from an authorized dealer without a buy history, and even with a buy history you have to return. In some cases it's up to 3 years. I personally like a non-date Submariner. I like the fact I can just throw the watch on and not worry about setting the date. About 3 years ago, I was trying to get a Submariner from an AD, couldn't get one, so I bought a pre-owned. I bought the reference number 14060M, and I've no regrets. I think this is a lovely watch. However, every possible mistake you can make, I made. Because people have no patience, I'm going to tell you now why you should buy this watch. This watch now sells everywhere naked for about £7,000, and you can get yourself a pretty good one from a reputable company. The reason I'm recommending this watch is it's only a 40mm case. It is 12.5mm thick, and it has a very good lug-to-lug width of 20mm, which means it's an absolute strap monster. Now, this is my point, guys. When I purchased this watch, it came on this bracelet, and this bracelet is old. It's not as bad as what I've seen, and it's not as bad as the bracelets on watches I've been looking at in order to create this video in advance. However, it's still not in the best condition, and it has quite a few dents on it. Without doing due diligence, I assumed if I just purchased a brand new bracelet for my watch, which I did at a cost of over £1,000, I can put it on the watch and it's just like any other Rolex. But it's not, guys. These bracelets are, for want of a better word, crap. They really are, and they have no micro adjustment for when the weather gets hotter or your wrist starts to swell. And just look at this, guys. It is a touch and go whether you can actually get it on properly. And if I had only known now what I knew then, I wouldn't have purchased that bracelet. Let me put the bracelets to one side and show you what most people do when they purchase this watch. They put it on a NATO strap. That's what they do. And to put it on a NATO strap, it's very easy, very simple, and it costs about £60 to do it. But as you can see, it's a very tight fit. I genuinely don't think this watch was made to go on a NATO strap. And there we have it, guys. That is how it looks on a NATO strap. Let me take off my Tudor. A little trick for NATO straps is you can pre-loop them like this, so that when you go to put them on, you don't drop the watch. Straight on your wrist like this, through here. Like that, guys. Okay? See that? I genuinely don't like it. I think it looks odd. I don't think this watch looks good on a NATO strap. However, there is a plan B. You can take a standard NATO strap and you can alter it, or you can buy a single pass NATO strap. In this case, here is one that I've altered. It's by Atom, and I've literally cut off. Do you see the flap there? See that flap? I have cut it off and I've singed it, and we're going to have another go at putting this on the watch. But as you can see, it's a tough ask to get one of these on the watch. And here we have it on a single pass NATO strap that, like I said before, I have already created by cutting off this piece. And we basically go like that. And that genuinely looks and feels better, guys. And that's what a lot of people do. And there's nothing wrong with that. However, something incredible just happened. And that's the whole purpose of this video. What's a much better option is to put the watch on a strap. I happen to love Artem straps, so I am going to put this watch on a sailcloth strap. It's a 20mm lug width strap with an easy quick release pin system that makes it on the watch in seconds, guys. And literally, there you have it, guys. Fantastic, right? But it isn't. I still never felt that the sailcloth strap was good enough for this watch, even though now on this video you're thinking, wow, Brenny, this looks incredible on this strap. I think the buckle is just excessive for this delicate watch. And then something incredible happened, guys. 2 months ago, Artem Straps brought out an all-weather HydraFlex strap on a deployable clasp, and Brenny was super excited. He put it on several of his watches, and then he found out that they did something special. They did an option, a different taper, a taper from 20 to 16 instead of 20 to 18. And then Brenny thought, Jesus, that would look amazing on my slightly smaller Submariner. And even though I had it on a sailcloth strap, it just felt too bulky. And I wanted an all-weather strap. And even though the sailcloth strap is designed to get wet, I just don't like getting it wet, if you know what I mean. And in comparison, look at this. Both of these are 20mm straps. However, this one tapers to 16 on the deployable clasp, and this one tapers to 18. This is the reason we are here. This is a Rolex Submariner Long F, a reference number 14060M. It has a 20mm lug width. Artem Straps have just brought out this new all-weather HydraFlex strap with a 20mm lug width. Nothing new there. However, they have now given you an option to having a deployable clasp that has a 16mm width instead of an 18mm width, and that just means it's more subtle, more refined. When you consider the older Submariners are thinner, that is only 12.5mm thick. This is a match made in heaven. To put it on the watch, it is extremely easy. It has quick release pins. That's one side on, open it up, flop it over, and you're on this side, straight on the watch like so. And there you have it, guys. It is extremely comfortable and easy to get on the watch, and it is an all-weather HydraFlex strap, a Submariner on an all-weather waterproof strap. What more could you ask for? And when you consider that this all in is £250 and the watch costs about £7,000 on the grey market. To sum this video up, if you've purchased this watch and you have this bracelet and you're not happy with it, get rid of the bracelet. Don't put it on a NATO strap. Put it on an all-weather HydraFlex strap, and you are ready to go for the summer, and you have modernized the watch. There is no way anybody's going to see this watch on your wrist and think, hey, that's a 20-year-old watch, Grandad. Right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll catch you on the next Brenny video.